Hey, you all. Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the coast. Starlight. We went to sleep last night in California, and we wake up in the state of Oregon. And they just informed us, they give the morning announcements. Our first stop is in Klamath Falls, Oregon. They said it's actually we're going to be there for several hours. Apparently, because of train delays, the crew that they're switching out with is unrested. That they, I guess, ran late last night, and so they need extra sleep so that they can operate the train once they get on. So apparently, we're going to park in Klamath for a little while. I think the conductor said it's going to be a couple hours. So we can get out, get a fresh air break there. He said, do not wander around the town because they may change their mind and leave early, and then we would get left behind. So, all right, another day on the train. So it looks like we have arrived in Klamath Falls, Oregon. Take a step out here into Klamath Falls. Oh, it is an icy morning here in Klamath Falls. Look at how frost is formed on the tracks. Oh, it's chilly. Well, since we have some extra time, we can peek inside the station. So what I'm learning is that most of these stations are pretty bare bones. Just a waiting area, a restroom, and a counter to buy tickets. Now, I can't wander too far, but I did want to get just maybe a little peek at Klamath Falls. Let's see what the town looks like. They got their Moose Lodge there. There is Spring Street Analytical and that cool building right there. It seems like a nice town. A little chilly, but I think it's a little chilly everywhere at the moment. Head up to the front of the train and say hello to the Coast Starlight. And there it is, the mighty Coast Starlight. And look at this, they got on the front of the train this like scoop. I don't know if that's to get through snow or to plow through cattle. Probably a little bit of both. Yeah, this was winding along the coastline last night. Looked like there was some beautiful ocean views. Unfortunately, it was very dark, so I wasn't able to get the full effect of that. But yeah, looking forward to spending the day aboard the Coast Starlight. And again, a very cold day. It's about 18 degrees where we are now. This weather across this entire country has been pretty cold. It was pretty nice in San Francisco, I'll admit that. But yeah, it's just such a long, extended Arctic blast here. Hopefully things will start to warm up. Oh, it's just such a cold beginning of the year. I'm so excited about seeing new things, seeing new places, but everywhere in the U.S. seems like it's frozen right now. So this here is the dining car, where you sit with fellow travelers and enjoy meals. And this over here, this is the sightseer lounge. You can see that has the windows on the ceiling there to give you a better view. We'll go visit there in a little bit. Yeah, let's get back into that warm train. I'm actually having a hard time finding my room. I think I'm so used to the other train that it's really throwing me off. All right, so while we're stopped here in Klamath Falls, I'm gonna eat some breakfast. The menus are exactly the same. I wasn't sure, but this makes sense. I guess all the trains have the same menu. The Amtrak menu And I guess since I'm riding these trains, I might as well try, try everything. In the past, I got the 3-egg omelet and the breakfast quesadilla, both which were pretty good. So today I tried the scrambled eggs, which we will be getting into here momentarily. All right, I added some sausage to the meal there. Let's give that sausage a try. That's good. A little bit of salsa there for my scrambled eggs. It's basically, the scrambled eggs is basically the omelet with nothing in it, which maybe that's what scrambled eggs are essentially. But they do have melted cheese in it there as well. So yeah, everything's pretty good, pretty consistent. I'm curious to try what other meals they offer here on the Coast Starlight. So let's take a peek at the bathrooms here on the Coast Starlight. Yeah, as you can see, these are much nicer than the bathrooms on the California Zephyr. Hello there. And the toilet, there's more room to sit down. It's got a nicer little sink. The other one was much more, I don't know, it wasn't this nice. Let's see if the toilet kind of flushes like an airplane toilet. Sometimes it takes a second. The shower area is also nicer, because you got more of an area here to get ready. It was a lot more cramped the way I had it set up on the other train. And look at this, the glass for the shower has the Amtrak logo and a mural of a train on the side. Yeah, this is much nicer than the other shower. So the main thing is, this train just feels newer. The train before the California Zephyr, it just seemed older. It wasn't nasty, it wasn't gross, it wasn't encrusted. It was just older, more well-worn. These are just much shinier, newer cars than was on the California Zephyr. And I don't know if I got the lights on in here. It's a lot brighter in here. The California Zephyr was just like the lighting was just a little yellow and dingy. So this is nice and bright, which is nice. Of course, the one, I wouldn't call this a major issue, but the lights in the hallway last night were a lot brighter, I think, than on the California Zephyr. So there was a little bit more light leak, like through the curtains coming into the car. Just a very minor thing. It didn't bother me. I got a pretty good night's sleep. Last night when we got on the train, it was really bumpy. I don't know, like, if the cold weather actually makes the train bumpier, but man, last night it felt like we were just bouncing. It felt like we were just like on a spring going down the track. But yeah, again, I, from what I've read in the comment section, a lot of people just say different tracks are built differently. Amtrak doesn't own any of the tracks, is my understanding. That they're owned by, I think they own by some of the said the freight companies own the tracks. So what is suitable for freight, maybe a little rough for humans, but Amtrak doesn't have any control over that because they rent out the tracks. So it just seems like sometimes you hit a real bumpy patch. All right, and we're finally rolling. We were in Klamath Falls for probably over 2 hours while they switched crews.
Welcome aboard.
I think we're going to go check out the Sightseer Lounge. I've still not figured out how this train is laid out. Again, I'm thinking it might just be because I I've got it in my head, the California Zephyr layout, but I was going the wrong way to get to the lounge. Oh, look out there.
It's still percolating.
That frozen water. Alright, we're passing through the dining car, and the lounge should be through here. Yeah, the Sightseer Lounge. Yeah, there's a lot of ice on the lake. It's an open spot here. Kind of a mixture of ice and water. So I came back to the Roomette to just enjoy the scenery here in the privacy of my own room. Now, the Sightseer Lounge gets some beautiful views there. It does get really busy. A lot of people were hanging out there. People go there to look at, look out the window, but other people go there just to hang out. There's tables where you can sit with other people. If you got more than just 2 people in your party, you probably want a bigger area to hang out. So if there's just like 2 people in here, no problem. You can sit here and have a conversation or play cards or on this table. But, if you got like 3 or 4 people in your group or even larger, then you want a place to hang out. So there's like larger groups up there, just hanging out with each other. And it is, the whole train shares that one sightseeing car. So it does, there's not a lot of common space. So it does get pretty full throughout the day. I did edit up there last night. I decided to try that out. Last time I edited on this table here. It's a little small, so it's kind of awkward putting my laptop there. But I went up there at night. It's not as busy. Went in there, plugged in my laptop. They had an electrical outlet, and edited my video. And got pretty lucky. Again, the cell service on these trains has been pretty good. I use my phone as a hotspot because there's no Wi-Fi on these trains, but I've had a lot of luck. I've gotten fast internet pretty much throughout most of the trip. The only like real spots where there was just no service was when we were going through the mountains of Colorado or the mountains of California. We just wouldn't expect there to be service. So usually, as long as you look out the window and you see civilization, you usually get a pretty good cell service. I have Verizon, if that makes a difference. But Verizon seems to work pretty good on the California Zephyr, and so far on the Coast Starlight as well. So one difference I am noticing about the Coast Starlight compared to the California Zephyr is this seems way busier. This seems like a very full train. When I was on the California Zephyr, I've walked down the hallways. They usually seem to be clear. Just everyone, people hanging out in their rooms. There was a lot more empty rooms on the California Zephyr. Here it seems like every room is packed. There's lots of people in the hallway. You kind of have to scooch by people, say excuse me, or ask people to let you by, or let other people pass in the narrow hallways as people try to get back and forth on the train. And then some people are kind of hanging out in the hallways a little bit because there seem to be larger groups, so people maybe because they have several rooms, they're kind of hanging out in between rooms. Like I said, the Sightseer Lounge is pretty full as well, but also just people hanging out in the hallways. And the attendant just came and actually asked about my lunch reservation. Now on the California Zephyr, you did not need a reservation for lunch. For breakfast and lunch, you just showed up in the dining car when you were ready to eat. But here, I think breakfast you could go up there and just be sat. But they actually came out and asked for lunch reservations, so you actually have to have a time for lunch and a time for dinner. Of course, I'm going to be eating in my roomette here, but just interesting, just the differences. I do think this train seems to just be more jam-packed with people. Now I'm curious about this. The snow almost looks like it's been plowed, like off the track here. Is there some sort of like trained snowplow? I mean, I know that is a thing that, like in the Arctic, they have the big snowplows that go in the front of the trains. Do they do that? Is that normal? Is there like something that comes through and clears this off for the train? Leave a comment in the comment section. Yeah, we're driving through a pretty desolate area. You can look out the window there. That's all snow. See how high the snow is. And over here, opposite, just more snow and trees. There's the emergency tools. I guess if there is an emergency, there's a crowbar and a sledgehammer. I mean, I guess, you know, if there was a train derailment or something, you needed to get people out of the metal, you could use the sledgehammer and the crowbar to pry them out. And then there's an emergency brake here. Yeah, can you even imagine? It would make people so mad if you stopped the train. I definitely would not mess with that. And my lunch has arrived. Now, I've been trying to try the different things, not just eat the same thing every day. So this is what they call an artisan grilled cheese sandwich. And you know, normally when I think of grilled cheese, I just think of bread and cheese. But that's actually got ham in it, so more of like a ham sandwich, or a grilled ham sandwich, or a ham and cheese, I think is the appropriate name. But yeah, let's try this. The artisan grilled cheese sandwich. You know, when I worked at Shoney's, I waited tables at Shoney's, we had an item on the menu called the ultimate grilled cheese sandwich, and that had meat on it as well. But it caused so many problems because people would order it seeing grilled cheese sandwich, and then they'd be upset when meat, it said it in the menu, but they didn't necessarily, you know, read the description. They just saw a grilled cheese sandwich and they ordered that. A lot of vegetarians would order the grilled cheese sandwich and show up with meat in it. So I think it's interesting to call that a grilled cheese sandwich. It does look like it's got a lot of cheese on it. I don't know. If you add meat, shouldn't the meat take the name of the sandwich? Shouldn't it be a grilled ham sandwich, not a grilled cheese sandwich? It's like calling a cheeseburger I guess you do. Well, no. It's cheeseburger. You add cheese. So it would be ham and cheese. Like I said, ham and cheese. Because the meat always takes the naming rights of the sandwich. That's pretty yummy. I'm actually not the biggest fan of grilled cheese sandwiches, so I actually do like the ham being added there. I think that actually does make it better. Most of the sandwiches come with chips. I don't think they have French fries on the train. Probably because you can't have a deep fryer sloshing around while the train is moving. And you do get dessert with lunch. And I would say no to dessert, but man, these butter cakes are so good. It's a Frank and Louie's butter cake. It's from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. Love Rehoboth Beach. Love Rehoboth Beach. Funland. Amazing dark ride there. But yeah, this thing is yummy. Now when you get it in the dining car, it comes on a nice little plate. But if you get it in your room, it's pre-packaged. Let's see. Yeah, it's got all the pudding or butter there in the middle. I guess you just take a bite out of it. Yeah, it's creamy pudding in the middle. Oh, it's very sweet and sugary. That is a good little butter cake we have there. It's almost like a little mini creme brulee, like in a cupcake. It's good stuff. Pulling into Eugene, Oregon. A quick fresh air break here in Eugene. Can't get very far from the train. We don't got a lot of time. And also, we are boxed in with this razor wire fence. And goodbye, Eugene. Your fresh air was delightful. This is the Albany, Oregon train station. Oh, it looks like there's a lot of people getting on here.
Oh, getting on? Yeah.
And the train station of Salem, Oregon, home of Enchanted Forest. See, that's some sort of dam or waterfall there. Okay, my dinner has arrived, and again had to go for the tempura shrimp appetizer. There's only two appetizers. There's shrimp and there's a salad, and someday I will try this salad, but I really like these shrimp. They call these their pearl tempura shrimp. It's got like little balls on it, little fried balls that it's fried in. And they got this really yummy sweet and spicy sauce. Yes, these are a nightly treat here on the train. Remind me to get that salad. I got to get the salad one night. But until then, I'm going to be enjoying this shrimp. But I did want to get something different as my entree, so I did get the chicken breast tonight. I've had the salmon. I've had the steak. And so I guess we're going to try the chicken breast. It comes with the mashed potatoes and gravy, as well as the green beans and carrots, like a lot of the other entrees. Someone was asking me if these were potatoes. No, these are like carrots cut into little balls, so like carrot balls. Let's dig into some of this chicken. I'm not sure if there's bones in here or not. See, it's got little like French fries on top, little French fried potatoes, like little potato chips. And like I've said, the food has been surprisingly good on these trains. Okay, so this is boneless, a boneless chicken breast. It's a pretty big. Oh, calling someone on the PA. It's a really big piece of chicken, big giant piece of chicken with no bones in it. So let's try that. It's pretty good. It's got some good seasoning on it. A little on the dry-ish side. I think I would definitely prefer the steak and the salmon are the other two dishes I got. I think the steak was the best. The flat iron steak, the Amtrak flat iron steak, I think was the best. It was just amazing. And salmon was really good. I would put this at number 3. I'm not saying I don't enjoy this, but compared to the others, this is not as spectacular. I think, you know what, I don't normally order chicken as an entree in, you know, just this kind of chicken, but yeah, it's definitely a decent meal. Those Amtrak taters, and don't forget the carrot balls. The beans. Yeah, definitely. You get a little bit of variety. You don't just want to eat the steak every night. Actually, I do want to eat the steak every night, but for variety's sake, I'm trying to try all the different Amtrak menu items. Anyone else familiar with the Amtrak menu? Leave a comment in the comment section on what your favorite foods are on the Amtrak trains. And we are rolling in to Portland, Oregon. There haven't been a lot of big cities on the trip today, but Portland is indeed a big city.
Enter there to claim your baggage. If you need red cap assistance up and down, they'll be up and down the platform to service each and every one that needs assistance.
So this is our final fresh air break before we get to Seattle. We are here at Union Station in Portland, Oregon. Look at that really cool clock tower up there. It says "Go by train." We have a little bit of extra time, so I'm just gonna peek into the station here. So this is actually a really cool old train station here in Portland. Yeah, the high ceilings. A lot of the train stations, very small little buildings. Some of them barely buildings at all, just little platforms that people stand on. But this is kind of the sort of old-fashioned grand train station. Big clock up there. 2 trains. Okay, so that door is 2 trains. That door is from trains. These old neon signs are pretty amazing too. Oh, look at this old scale here. I don't know if this still works. No springs, honest weight. Do I have to put a coin in, or can I stand? It says I'm 70 pounds. This scale may be old and unreliable. This is the Amtrak lounge in here, and they do actually sell these passenger comfort kits that come with those Amtrak blankets. And this is my sleeper car here. This is actually my window over here where I've been sitting. You can see I haven't finished my dinner yet. They called for the fresh air break right when I was right in the middle of eating. Okay, I had a chance to get back into my roomette. I finished up my dinner, and my dessert here is the blueberry cheesecake, which I did enjoy before. I'd ordered the chocolate cake, but they were out of that. Probably should stop eating all these Amtrak desserts.
There's no smoking at any time on board Amtrak trains. This is for federal regulation, includes the use of vapes.
headed into Vancouver, Washington. All right, coming up on the Tacoma, Washington Amtrak station. So that was just a quick little stop, letting a few people off here in Tacoma. And now we head on to Seattle. Oh, there was a suitcase. There was just a random suitcase laying there. So our journey on the Coast Starlight is coming to an end. Seattle is the final stop. That is where the train terminates, where everybody has to get off the train. And yeah, it's been a wonderful ride here on the Coast Starlight. I did talk with Travels with Kev, travelswithkev.com. I was making comments about how it seemed like a newer train. It's actually an older train than the California Zephyr. This has just been remodeled. So these trains are older trains that have been remodeled. The California Zephyr trains have not yet been remodeled. So some good information there. I guess Travels with Kev has all this great information about trains, and he's helped me a lot navigating my way. So if you're interested, I can give my opinion, but if you want like the nuts and bolts, check out travelswithkev.com. Yeah, so a beautiful drive. Much like the California Zephyr, some beautiful scenery here. I was a little bummed out that we were the coast part. We were driving along the coast last night when it was already dark, so we really couldn't get a lot of those beautiful water views. I would have really liked to see that. Maybe I need to take the Coast Starlight back down south at some point to see to get the full experience of seeing those amazing coastal views. I have to check the timetable, because that's the thing. The way these trains run, they're always kind of at the same place at the same spot every day. So I guess probably coming here during the summer where there's a longer season, maybe you have a better chance of getting some of the views. It all kind of depends on the year. So you could take the different trains at different times of the year and get different experiences as far as the view goes. Now we're supposed to get to Seattle at about 9 o'clock. I think that's about hour and 15 minutes later than we were supposed to. But we stopped for over 2 hours because of the staffing issues. I guess the federal regulation is that people that are operating a train have to get a certain amount of rest before they're allowed to come back and operate a train. It makes sense. You don't want someone who's super sleepy and tired operating a train. It can be very dangerous. So we had to wait this morning while they until they could get someone to come and change the crew. And it's interesting how the crew changing works. I think they change out the conductor. They change out probably maybe the engineer. I don't know. The conductor is the person that talks to us, and when they change out staff, there's usually a new voice coming over the PA system. But like the staff that like works on the train, like the people that attend to the cars, the staff in the dining car, that appears to be the same. From my experience so far, my limited experience, that appears to be the same people stay on the train and work. Almost like the front-facing customer service people appear to be in for the long haul, and I guess the conductor and engineer switch out, which makes sense because the staff that works directly with the customers, they're allowed to sleep at night, and I guess the conductor engineer drives through the night, so it makes sense that they would have to switch out, I think. But anyways, so we were there for over 2 hours, but we're only going to be a little over an hour late. So I don't know how that works, with trains being late. I don't know if the train drives faster to able to make up that time, because I know that like I learned that trains do have to, like, they can't go too fast. They can't just haul on to the next location because they got to try to meet their marks. Not only do they have to be at the station to pick up guests when their ticket time says, but they also have to, apparently they can't just show up at odd times because that can cause like backlog with trains and get in the way of other trains. So everything kind of has to be moving perfect for things to fall into place. And that's why one little thing happens and it throws everyone else off. Because so like with the staff not getting enough sleep, I mean, because their train was late, so that causes a ripple effect with this train late. And I think it's just part of train travel. I'm not complaining about it right now is what I'm trying to say. It's just part of the experience. I mean, all forms of travel can be unpredictable. Planes get canceled all the time. Cars wreck, run out of gas, need repair, get in traffic jams. So there's no form of transportation that absolutely guarantees you're going to be where you need to be when you need to be there. You just gotta you just gotta have fingers crossed and hope that everything works out in the end. And that's what I'm trying to do here. Try to just roll with the punches, take the experience as it is. I did lose a day in Seattle. I was going to spend an extra day in Seattle. That kind of translated to an extra day in San Francisco. So I'll have I think I'll have like 2.5 days in Seattle, and then I will be boarding the Empire Builder, another train, and I'm going to be on that train nonstop. There'll be no more stops after Seattle. I'm going to be on the Empire Builder for I think I'm going to do 2 overnight stays on the Empire Builder, and that will get me back to Chicago, where my mom will hopefully pick me up from the airport. We are rolling in to Seattle. There's some sort of stadium there, T-Mobile Park. Oh, and then there's Lumen Field. I guess all their sports stadiums are right here by the train station. And here we are at King Street Station. And that'll do, train. That'll do. The Coast Starlight ends right there. You can't go any further. We have King Street Station. See the clock tower up there on top? Oh yeah, this is an absolutely beautiful train station in here. So let's see, where do we go from here? Do we go to King Street, to Jackson Street, or to a taxi? We'll figure something out. And we have arrived safe and sound here in downtown Seattle. I do have a hotel room. I did book a hotel room. It is a little ways from here. I looked on Google Maps. It's about a 50-minute walk. So we may have to find, it's a little chilly, so we may have to find an alternative method to getting to our hotel. I was actually thinking about taking one of these scooters. I've never taken one of these. I was always just didn't know exactly how to operate them. I think you're not supposed to drive them on the sidewalk. You're supposed to drive them in the street. That I'm nervous that I'm going to get run over. And actually, I would. It seems fun. I would take one right now. But I do have my suitcase with me. I don't think I could fit that on the scooter with me. So we may need to come up with some alternative means to getting to our hotel. Here it is, Seattle. All right, I think we have to walk up to this staircase to get to street level. There's that big clock tower on the train station. Whew. Yeah, it looks like the train station actually kind of sits in a hole. I'm just guessing. I don't know this is a fact, but I'm guessing Seattle has like 2 layers to it. The new city was built on top of the old city. There's like a whole underground section, so I'm wondering if that's why the train station is in a hole. Yeah, there's the top part of King Street Station, but I actually got out at the bottom where there's like a whole bottom story to the building. Okay, so we had such a good luck with the public transit in San Francisco. I think, whoop, still dragging my suitcase. I think we should give the public transit a whirl here. There's a bus over there behind me. I don't think that's the bus we're looking for. I looked up where the bus I need is, and we're gonna head over there and see if we can hop a bus to the hotel. Yeah, there's all sorts of buses everywhere. Buses of all different shapes and sizes and different colors. But I admit, I do not have a very good grasp on where I'm at right now. Okay, this bus says not in service. I don't think any of these are the buses that I'm looking for. All right, it should be just up this way a little bit. This is the part where I remember that Seattle's built on hills, just like San Francisco. Oh my. Oh, I think that's my bus right there. Oh, did I miss it? Let's see if that bus is coming back. All right, looks like you can buy a bus ticket on the app. It's $2.75. So it's become painfully obvious that I do not understand how the bus system works here in Seattle. I thought I had it figured out. When I went to try to buy the ticket on the app, it told me to go to a CVS and pay in cash. It didn't give me an option to use a credit card. So I don't really even know how to buy a bus ticket, and I don't know how to tell if I'm getting on the right bus. So we may need to look at other options here. Okay, I broke down and just used an Uber. Dang it, I really wanted to ride the bus. So I've come to the conclusion that I don't know how buses work. So I thought I had it figured out in San Francisco, and especially it's easy, you know, if you use Google Maps, that actually shows you which station to go to, shows you where the bus will take you, where to get off. But I tried to figure it out here, and I had no clue what was going on. I was looking at the buses that were coming, the buses that were going, and first of all, it seems like there's different buses from different companies, and even when I went to the correct bus stop, like different buses, they were metro buses, kept coming to that station, and they kept like stopping, picking up people, leaving. There were different buses, they had different things written on them, and their names were all just like random. It's just like they have place names on the bus, but a bus just doesn't go to one place. A bus goes to all these different places. So I couldn't figure out where I was supposed to be, but I couldn't figure out which bus I was supposed to be on. I narrowed it down that I was supposed to be on the metro line, which is like the city-owned bus line. And then I went on my phone. I tried to purchase a bus ticket, which was supposedly only $3, which is better than the $20 Uber ride I just paid for. But when I put in my information, buy now, and it told me, it showed me that you could get a code and then you'd have to take the code to a convenience store, and they would scan your code, and then you would pay them in cash. It didn't give me any option on the website to use a credit card, so I don't know if I just don't know how to use apps. I don't know how to use trains. I'm really embarrassed. This is an embarrassing moment, an embarrassing realization for me that I just apparently don't know how things work. Because I did want to try out public transit, but apparently I need a crash course in how public transit works. I guess maybe a lot of tourists don't use the buses, so if you live in the city and you know how the buses work, you can figure it out pretty easy. But when you are an out-of-towner like me, trying to just jump in and get into the bus scene, it's just so confusing. It's like trying to read a foreign language. I thought I had to San Francisco. I thought I had to figure it out pretty good. I pretty much figured where to stand, where to be. I was able to get around by the end of my time there. New York City, I have problems with the subway there. I can always get on the right car, the right train, but never in the right direction. No matter what I do, I'm always on the right train, headed in the wrong direction. So, I don't know. If anyone can help me out there, how do you interpret, how do you read a bus schedule? How do you know which bus to get on? How do you know where buses are going? Maybe these are things that take research, that take homework. Maybe I was naive to think I could just show up in Seattle and ride a bus. Because, I want to introduce different forms of travel into this channel. Because this is a travel channel. I travel all around, and I want to travel by plane, by train, by automobile, by bus, by streetcar, by cable car, canoe, roller skates, scooters. And that's all the modes of transportation I can currently think of. But yeah, the Ubers are great. They don't have Waymos here, but Ubers are great. They get you where you're going. I've never had a bad experience, but it's a little pricey. It was $20 to get across the city. I could have walked there in about 50 minutes. Probably not though, because here, much like San Francisco, it's uphill both ways. So, I don't know. Maybe I'll have it figured out by the time I leave Seattle. Maybe I need to just, when I get home, maybe I need to just sit down with a bunch of bus pamphlets. A little rat just ran across the street. That was cute. And get this all figured out. But in the end, all that really matters is we made it. We have successfully taken the coastal Starlight to Seattle. There is the wondrous Space Needle towering above us. So I will be in Seattle for the next 3 days. On the third evening of the third day, I will be hopping aboard the Empire Builder, my final train of this illustrious train trip, and head back to Chicago. But I'm here for the next 3 days. I'm staying here downtown near the Space Needle, and I'm going to try to kind of stick to the attractions in this general area, the good touristy stuff in this area. So of course, as always, up for suggestions. There's stuff that I want to do all over Seattle, all over this area, but I'm gonna try to keep it to foot walking or public transit this time. With public transit that I can deal with, because I like to get the feel of walking around the city, experiencing the city as someone in the city. I think that's one of the things on taking the train, that I'm not burdened by having that car. So suggestions that are in like walking distance or alternative transportation distance of the Space Needle here is what I'm looking for. The plan is to be back here later this year, hoping to do a Pacific Coast Highway road trip from San Diego up here to Seattle by automobile, because it is the year of planes, trains, and automobiles here on the Carpetbagger channel. So I'll be happy to do some more Seattle stuff when that time comes. But right now, we're kind of focusing on the guts of the city, the real yummy touristy guts of Seattle. So leave those comments in the comment section. If you like these videos, please consider subscribing. I travel around the country I am currently on an insane cross-country trade trip. If you subscribe, it'll notify you when new videos come out. And if you'd like to help the channel in other ways, consider contributing to Patreon. $3 or more, get you a postcard once a month from me to you. Also in the Etsy shop, we are selling enamel pins, press pennies, motel key fobs, enamel pins, and also doing personalized messages on Cameo. All that information is in the description of this video, and all that helps keep this coast Starlight on the track, this boat on the water, and this needle in space. Until next time, my friends, this one's in the bag. Needle from space.